Hello everybody, this is Max Convexity. I hope your weekend is going well so far. TGIF, right? Alright, today I wanted to look at the hive and the R hive. It's kind of a continuing series on my high yield volatility equation and my risk adjusted high yield volatility equation. This is my own metric that I've talked about a few times before, but just to refresh everyone's memory, this metric is based on the theory of the efficient market, meaning that the market is efficient in the, of course, in the professional participants like market makers and other professionals that do this for a living are better at pricing risk and evaluating the risk in the market than the retail investor is. So this theory looks at the way the professionals price risk, and the way it does that is by looking at the option tables of the different indexes. Let's look at TSLY just for an example. We'll do a figure on TSLY. I've already figured out the number for tonight, but let's just show you how it would work. So you go over here to the option table. I use Option Strat. But you type in TSLY, and what I'm looking at is the price of 6-month insurance, or the volatility of 6-month insurance. So 6 months is as far out as TSLY can go. Sometimes it's 5 months, sometimes it's 7 or 8, but I go out as far as it can go. And then I look at the implied volatility of that position. What this position is, a short synthetic, is where you buy a call and you sell a put. This perfectly hedges your downside. To the penny, this will hedge your downside. So the implied volatility of that is 41.1. So then we have to look at Tesla's implied volatility for 6-month insurance for the same expiration date, buying at the money put, selling at the money call, and it's 48 is Tesla's implied volatility. So we go back over here, and I would enter 44, and then I would enter 48, because that's the parent vol. And then the other input I need is the most recent yield, and that was 61.62. I think they just changed that about a week ago. But of course, every month when the yield changes, these numbers can change drastically. But I want to see, I'm trying to capture a snapshot in time of this day, this moment in time, in the way the market makers were valuing risk right at this time. So that's why I use the most current yield. I can make a smoother equation if I used a moving average or somehow smoothed it, but I don't think it would be as accurate for what I'm trying to show. This, of course, is fun and entertainment only. It hasn't been back tested, and it's just one of many ways to judge risk in the market. I think it's a pretty good way myself, but it's still just one way, and right now it's made for research purposes. I'm using it to help me understand in my own mind how the market makers price risk and reward. The theory of the efficient market is that the market makers know everything. The theory is that they know more than we do, and they have more information and better supercomputers. So the theory is you go with their numbers. So let's look at how the market makers evaluate risk. So out of all these high yield stocks, and the reason Coney isn't on here is because Coney doesn't have options. To make this figure or this equation or metric, you have to have options. So hopefully Coney will have options soon, and we can put it on here and see how it does. So back to Tesla. So Tesla has a hive of 42. Which isn't the highest. I mean, heck, it's not near as high as QQQY or INFLY or OARC. But Tesla has a yield that's bigger than some of those. So, and well, it's smaller than some too. But anyway, when you factor in, when you divide this number by this number, you get that number. And 1.47. So anything above 1 is considered good risk-adjusted performance. Let's sort this from highest to lowest, and here we go. We have XYLD at the very top. And even though it just pays 12%, because it has such extremely low vol, you can tell the market makers aren't worried about this one going down. But they aren't worried about going up either. They just aren't worried about it going much of anywhere. And of course, that would make sense. If you guys saw my video from a couple of nights ago, the way the XYLD is constructed, they use at-the-money options, but they go a month out, and they also don't pay out their whole dividend. They keep a half or a little bit more than a half of it. They retain it to just to reinvest in the fund, and it has the effect of defending the NAV and protecting from unnecessary depreciation. The market makers know it, and they have it priced in. So right now it's saying XYLD is the best risk-adjusted reward. Then we have QYLD. Then we have JEPQ. Then we have JEPI. Then we have Tesla. So Tesla is the best of all the single stocks. These other four are indexes. It's kind of not fair to compare indexes to single stocks, but I'm going to do it anyway. It works for this. So TSLY is a 1.47. FBY has a good risk-adjusted performance with a 1.21. So if you look at Facebook or Facebook's yield fund, FBY, the volatility is 29 compared to 42 for Tesla. So less volatility, but also less yield. So that's where these numbers come from. It's just the ratio of the volatility to the yield. Then we have NVIDIA. I don't think that would surprise anybody. That's been a pretty good one. Didn't pay real high, but it's, it has pretty low vol. JPY, that's one of my favorite ones, as you guys know. Then the Google Yield Fund, GOOY. So all the ones above 1, I would say, are good risk-adjusted reward. And the ones below 1, those are the ones that maybe the market makers see some kind of problem or something. The way they're pricing the options, it kind of looks like it. Look at OARC, super volatile, almost as volatile as Tesla. And the reason that's so alarming, because it's so much more volatile than its parent fund. Yeah, Tesla's volatile, but not much more volatile than its parent fund. But the market makers here are saying, heck yes, OARC is way more volatile than AARK. So in turn it has a high hive, and you divide the hive or divide the return by the hive, and you get this number right here. So that's the lowest risk-adjusted performance on the board. I'm going to start updating these once a week. We'll probably do it Friday night, unless there's a big move or unless something changes majorly with one of these numbers during the week. Also, I thought you guys might want to know, I made some merchandise. It might make a good Christmas gift or something. If you want to support the channel, feel free. It says all dividend investors go to heaven, and it has my branding on the front. And it's a nice, it's like a Yeti. It's not a Yeti, but it's a knockoff with my branding. Let's see what else. Let's see what else I have in my little pop-up store. It's not a permanent store. It's just a pop-up store for Christmas. Yeah, and I like this coffee mug. It'd be a good coffee mug to sit around and watch the market open every morning, and watch my update maybe, or watch Retire on Dividends updates, or anybody's. Rob stuff. We got a lot of good members in this community. Mike, the tactical stock scalper, he's a good one too. Anyway, that's a good looking coffee mug. And then I had a request for socks, and I think they may have been being sarcastic, but I'm not very good at picking up on sarcasm. So I made some socks as well. Check these things out. It's my branding, of course. There's two different designs on the socks. There's also this one. Well, and then I also have this. I have a different type of Yeti. This one right here says, dividend investors make the best lovers. And it has my branding. Anyway, please consider that stuff. And also, please consider a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back tomorrow with a really good video. I'm working on a good video tomorrow that's a follow-up from my video from 2 days ago. I think you guys will really like it. It'll be out probably about noon. Thank you so much, and you have a nice day.